Hello, here I am with an update. So, we had a lot of rain this past week in Montana, and, well, it was needed and it was good because it cleaned the air, so the smoke, really got cleaned out of the air, and that was good. Well, for me, it wasn't so good because I'm going to show you why. So you know that I bought a 20-year-old van for $700 because I was desperate and whatnot, and it's been okay. I was mostly sleeping in a tent until I found out about that grizzly bear attack. And then I've noticed that since I've been sleeping in the van, my symptoms have gotten worse. My MCS has gotten worse. And I know it was partially because of that. I think it was also partially because of the smoke. So anyway, when it was raining, I found out why. Do you see on the ceiling how the cloth is hanging down and there's these holes around where the vents are? Well, I found out why. Because the roof of this van leaks and I could hear drip, drip, drip. And so that whole ceiling, all that cloth got wet. And I'm pretty sure there's old mold up there that got reactivated or whatever. And, it rained it rained solid one day. And then that day and the next day, I just felt horrible, like death warmed over. Like, my symptoms from living in mold coming back, achy, brain fog, feet swelling up, my heart palpitating because my thyroid tends to go super active when I'm in mold. So thank God today the rain is over, the sun is out. It broke last night. I was able to get out of the van because staying in the van, I opened the back a little bit, and I use a little fan to air the van out, so the fresh air coming into the van, once it stopped pouring, it really helped with the symptoms. Of course, took antihistamines and whatnot. But anyway, the fact remains that obviously I'm not going to be able to continue to live in this van if I want to continue to heal. So I need to get another vehicle. You guys know the struggles I've had with that. So it was suggested to me by a very loving friend and mold mentor of mine that I go back to New York, where when I left, I had a loan secured to buy a van from my hometown bank. But I had to be there in person to get it. And that's why, I was in West Virginia, I didn't go back. I chose to go forward instead, thinking that I'd have the money for my house by now and I'd be able to pay cash for a van. So anyway, so I think now I have to regroup. I have to go back to New York. Hopefully I can still get that loan or some other kind of loan, because the lady who backed out of the sale, and now the house sold again, which yay, right? But it's still going to be about 4 to 6 weeks before I get money, and I can't sleep in a moldy van for 4 to 6 weeks. It's just not going to happen. Now, if I could get somewhere where it was dry and I could sleep in a tent, I could maybe sleep in the, dry and grizzly bear free. I could maybe sleep in the tent and, only drive the van. But, the way mycotoxins work is basically all my stuff's contaminated now. So it means that, all my stuff is on borrowed time. I'm going to have to get rid of it eventually. Depending on what I do, depends on when I get rid of it. So what I've decided to do is to head back towards New York. And then as soon as I opened my mind and was like, well, maybe I could do that, I saw a post on HOWA, which is Homes on Wheels Alliance, that there's a woman who is selling/renting a piece of off-grid land in, she called it upstate New York. To me, it's central New York because it's south of where I was living, but still about under 3 hours from where my home is. and off the grid, and it's a hip camp. So I booked it for one night, August or September 5th, after the Labor Day weekend. And so I had to leave Camp 32 because the rains were so pouring and there was so much mud. I was afraid I was going to get stuck. Because, you know, like I've said, I have ball tires and this is low to the ground and there was so much mud. So I came, this is called Cam Loops, and it's basically just kind of like a parking lot with picnic tables. And it's near Rexford Bench, which is the other campground that I tried, but there were too many people there and the RVs gave me a reaction. And then down there you can see that's Lake Koocanusa. And that's the place that I found I swim and I get water and whatnot, and I feel good here. So as long as people stay away from me. Like, the one thing I love about campers and hate about campers is they're friendly. And so they want to come walk by and talk and ask me questions, and they're all coated in laundry products that, I mean, every single time it's like, you get away from me. But I'm also a social person, so I want to meet people and talk, but it's not working. So obviously all that rain, I was running out of clean clothes. So today I did some laundry. You can see it's over there on the line drying right now. Thank you for sun and wind, God. And then over here on the little setup clothes bar those are the clothes I got from Old Navy. So those I soaked in baking soda and a little bit of Dr. Bronner's and borax, and I haven't rinsed yet. So I didn't have enough water right now to rinse them, so and there's a water spigot right over there. I'm gonna rinse them today and try to get those dried too, and you know, mixed in with the other clothes. So yeah, and another bummer, of course, it's raining, pouring, and all of a sudden I wake up and I'm like, what the heck is wrong with my mattress? Well, my Thermarest mattress must have a slow leak in it, so I have to get up in the middle of the night and blow it up one more time. And, you know, it doesn't matter. I'm going to have to get rid of it anyway. It's in a multi-van. But I'm so bummed because I just bought a sleeping bag from Teton. And, you know, even though I took it out of its wrapper and it's in a garbage bag over there, it's not even completely off gassed yet, and it's going to be contaminated with mold. So, you know, I suppose I could return it to the company and get my $75 back. And I might do that. I don't know. I feel bad doing it, because what if they mail that sleeping bag out to somebody else who has mold sensitivity? You know what I mean? So I feel bad about doing that, but I don't know exactly what I'm going to do about that yet. So anyway, I have mapped out my route from here to where that land is in New York. It's like, you know, 2,400 miles. It says one day and like 15 hours. So it's far, and it's all the way across Montana, all the way across North Dakota, then across Michigan, then up on the top of like Ohio and Indiana, and then, you know, around the Great Lakes there, and then, you know, across New York. So it's far. It's going to be, I'm going to have to go across where farming lands are, where they spray pesticides on their crops. So that's going to be hard. Another thing that I've tried to do is look at the Amtrak, because I had good luck on the Amtrak, and I don't know if this car is going to make it all the way. So my backup plan is that I will, you know, the route is pretty close to where Amtrak goes, you know. So if the car dies on the way, then I guess I junk it and I get on the Amtrak. And then when I get to New York, I'm going to start calling a couple of my friends to see if they'd be willing to come get me and, you know, help me. I don't know, maybe drive me to the place so I can set up camp, drive me to somewhere where I can rent a car or borrow a car, or I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I just know that I have today You know, I'm sober, sane, and safe today, and in my right mind, and working towards healing, working towards detoxing. This land isn't very far from Saratoga Springs, which is good because that's where that biological dentist is that I worked with that I liked so much. So I just have to make it 6 weeks till I get the money from that house. So your prayers are always appreciated. You know, I was really depressed. You know, I was like, oh God, what am I doing? You know, I know I don't look very good because I spent 2 nights in a moldy van, so I don't know if you can tell the difference, but it's not very hot here, but I'm still gonna swim today as soon as those clothes are dry, and then put clean clothes on and just keep on trucking. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share.